know that symbol. That's a Phrygian cap. It stands for freedom, and that's a Masonic eye. Now those two come together in only one place. What's that?
What up, y'all? It's the Dot Connector, and I have one question for you. Are you ready for the future? Are you ready for the day when you can walk into a hospital and upload your consciousness to a computer and live forever in a virtual simulation of our world? It should be no surprise that many people already believe that we live in a simulation, including the genius mind of Elon Musk.
40 years ago, we had Pong, like two rectangles and a dot. That was what games were. Now, 40 years later, we have photorealistic 3D simulations with millions of people playing simultaneously, and it's getting better every year. And soon we'll have virtual reality, augmented reality. If you assume any rate of improvement at all, then the games will become indistinguishable from reality. It would seem to follow that the odds that we're in base reality is 1 in billions. Right. And actually, I mean, arguably we should hope that that's true, because otherwise, if civilization stops advancing, then that may be due to some calamitous event that erases civilization. So maybe we should be hopeful that this is a simulation.
While many people don't believe that we live in a simulation, and they believe that the tech to get us there is too far off in the future, what if I told you that Tesla engineers have showcased new technology at Tesla's AI Day in 2022? And with this new tech, Tesla can now create perfect simulations of your neighborhood at incredible speeds.
3D scenes are notoriously slow to produce. Take, for example, the simulated scene playing behind me. A complex intersection from Market Street in San Francisco. It would take 2 weeks for artists to complete. And for us, that is painfully slow. However, I'm going to talk about using Yagen's automated ground truth labels along with some brand new tooling that allows us to procedurally generate this scene and many like it in just 5 minutes. That's an amazing 1,000 times faster than before. So let's dive in to how a scene like this is created. We start by piping the automated ground truth labels into our simulated world creator tooling inside the software Houdini. Starting with road boundary labels, we can generate a solid road mesh and retopologize it with the lane graph labels. This helps inform important road details like crossroad slope and detailed material blending. Next, we can use the line data and sweep geometry across its surface and project it to the road, creating lane paint decals. Next, using median edges, we can spawn island geometry and populate it with randomized foliage. This drastically changes the visibility of the scene. Now, the outside world can be generated through a series of randomized heuristics. Modular building generators create visual obstructions, while randomly placed objects like hydrants can change the color of the curbs, while trees can drop leaves below it, obscuring lines or edges. Next, we can bring in map data to inform positions of things like traffic lights or stop signs. We can trace along its normal to collect important information like number of lanes and even get accurate street names on the signs themselves. Next, using lane graph, we can determine lane connectivity and spawn directional road markings on the road and their accompanying road signs. And finally, with lane graph itself, we can determine lane adjacency and other useful metrics to spawn randomized traffic permutations inside our simulator. And again, this is all automatic, no artists in the loop, and happens within minutes.
After the event, Whole Mars Catalog took to Twitter to suggest that Tesla builds a Grand Theft Auto style game that uses simulated reconstructions of real-world places that are gathered from Tesla's fleet of vehicles. This sparked a reply from Whole Mars Catalog, who wrote, "It would be interesting to build video game maps using this technology. Play in your actual neighborhood as seen recently by the Tesla fleet." Elon Musk responded one last time by saying, "It would be cool to make a game using Tesla Sim that's literally your city and neighborhood down to skid marks on the road and then inject fantasy sci-fi elements." But does this stop with video games, or do they have a goal that's a lot more sinister, like convincing the masses that they found the key to immortality and you can live forever if you only upload yourself to our digital simulation of the real world. In 2018, The Sun wrote an article titled "Eternal Life? Want to live forever? You just have to make it to 2050, experts say." In this article, they list 3 methods for how you can live forever. Method 1 is renewing your body parts. There are quite a lot of people interested in living forever, explains Dr. Pearson. There always has been, but the difference now is tech is improving so quickly, lots of people believe they can actually do it. He reveals that one way to extend life would be to use biotechnologies in medicine to keep renewing the body and rejuvenating it. No one wants to live forever at 95 years old, but if you could rejuvenate the body to 29 or 30, you might want to do that. This could be done in several ways, including genetic engineering that prevents or reverses the aging of cells. Some people believe they can already do this, and I'm kinda on that boat, especially when many celebrities are coming out and admitting that they are being offered immortality to sell their souls to the devil. Method number 2 is living in android bodies, but Dr. Pearson thinks it's much more likely that we'll extend our lives a different way. Robots. A long time before we get to fix our bodies and rejuvenate it every time we feel like, we'll be able to link our minds to the machine world so well, we'll effectively be living in the cloud, he explains. The mind will basically be in the cloud and be able to use any android that you feel like to inhabit the real world. He says that in 50 years' time, we might be able to hire an android anywhere in the world, just like a hire car, and upload your consciousness into it. If you wanted to spend that evening in Australia going to the Sydney Opera House, you could use an android. This means that even when your original body dies, you still be able to use the digital mind stored on a computer and live in the world using highly realistic robot bodies. And we know that they would love nothing more than to turn us into robots. By doing this gives them total control over all of us. And method number 3 is, you guessed it, living in a virtual world. But if our minds are online, do we even need robot bodies? We could all just live in a computer simulation quite happily, according to Dr. Pearson. You could spend most of your time online in the virtual world, of course anywhere in the world on any computer. Once you're on a computer, you're totally out of the way, and anytime they want, they can turn that virtual world into a virtual hell, literally. But what are your thoughts about Tesla's crazy simulation tech? Would you be willing to live in a virtual world? I wouldn't. And do you believe we currently live in a simulation? I don't. But give me your thoughts in that comment section. And if you haven't already, don't forget to give your life to Christ. My name is Devin Worlds, and we are the Dot Connectors.
Where the fuck you going, Tin Can? No kidding. Hey guys, check it out. We got one of those tin cans here.
Look at this little motherfucker. You steal our jobs, but you can't even stand up.
You ain't going anywhere. We're gonna fuck your bitch ass up. Yeah, waste it.
Do it!
All right. It's enough. Leave it alone.
Let us teach this bastard a lesson.
If you damage it, I'm gonna have to find you.
We can take your job next. See how you like it.
Okay. Let's go. Run along.